Oh, hi. And if you're wondering what I'm actually holding right here, this is actually a transformer. I don't know if you have kind of know about this about transformers or you have encountered this about transformers, but I just want to let you know that this is a transformer, and transformer doesn't always look like this. Transformer actually always look like this too. This is a different type of transformer, and it actually do the same job, steps up, step down, same job, but it's not built in this way. Actually built in this way. And in this video, we are going to be talking about transformers, how it works, how it steps voltage down, how it pop-ups voltage up, how it actually increases voltage, and how the theory actually works, and the types, and where are they found. We're going to cover all that in this video, so do all to stay to the ending of this video to get great insight and full tutorial. I am Success Money, and let's dive. Now, I know you're going to be wondering to ask, what is a transformer? Now, a transformer is a very simple explanation, which I'm going to be giving you two guys. And you can just go on Google and get the explanation. But yes, you get the explanation how a transformer is, what a transformer is for, but you don't really know the insight on how it works, and which I'm going to cover all in this video. So now, what is a transformer? A transformer is the electronic equipment or electronic component which is used by electronic enthusiasts just like me to step up voltage, like to increase voltage or to step down voltage. So now, transformer works on alternating current, which is AC, and transformer does not work on DC current. Yeah, transformer only works on alternating current, which is AC, not DC. Transformer does not work on direct voltage, it works on alternating voltage. Now you're going to be asking me, how does this actually works? Now, if you check in the diagram which I'll show you right now, you can see that a transformer consists of two coils, which is the primary coil and the secondary coil. Now, the primary coil is actually where you input your voltage, and the secondary coil is where you get your output. Now, you're going to be asking me, how does this actually passes the current? Now, you're going to be asking me, if you put a current in the primary section and you receive the current in the secondary section, how does it actually work? There is no direct connection from the primary to the secondary. It actually transfers energy through magnetic field. Yeah, I'm going to put it that way, magnetic field. It does not have direct wires are connected from the primary section to the secondary section. It just have only the future of magnetism. It transfers the energy through magnetism, so it does not actually have a direct wire that passes from the primary coil to the secondary coil. Now, just as I actually mentioned in the earlier in this video, I actually said the main part of the transformer is the primary coil and the secondary coil. Yeah, those are the main part of the transformer. It consists of the primary coil and also the secondary coil. Now, the primary coil takes in the voltage, secondary coil lets in the voltage out. Now, also, we have another part of the transformer, which is actually the iron core. I don't know if you can see it clearly. This iron core, which actually wraps the transformer, is also a part of the transformer. Now, if iron core actually helps to close and protect the magnetic field from escaping. Yeah, as I said earlier in this video, the transfer of electricity or the transfer of current or power through the transformer from the primary coil to the secondary coil is done by magnetism. Yeah, it transfers the current or the electric current through magnetic field. So to protect this magnetic field from going out or from flying away, then you have the metallic iron core. We actually call it the iron core to protect the magnetism from being in one place, to protect it to be closed and to be perfectly aligned from escaping and stuff like that. Now, as I actually said in the intro of this video, earlier in this video, I explained how the transformation actually works, how the transfer of electricity from the primary coil to the secondary coil actually works. So now, the transformer, it have a primary coil and a secondary coil, as I said in the intro of this video. Now, you input voltage on the primary section of the transformer, and you get the voltage at the secondary coil of the transformer. It can be, if it's actually a step-up transformer, you get the higher voltage. It's actually a step-up, step-down transformer, you get a lower voltage. Now, here is actually how it works. Now, when you input voltage in the primary section of the primary coil of the transformer, it actually creates a magnetic field, creates a changing magnetic field. Now, that changing magnetic field flows through the iron core. From the iron core, it flows and induced into the secondary coil. Now, the secondary coil actually receives this magnetic field, and then we have our voltage at the output of the secondary coil. That's why I actually said in the intro of this video, there's not actually a direct wire which actually connects from the primary coil to the secondary coil, the current flows to electromagnetic field. Now, this procedure whereby primary coil actually induce a change in magnetic field to the iron core, from the iron core to the secondary coil, and we have our output is actually called the electromagnetic induction. Now, it's simple to say that electricity changes to magnetism, and magnetism then changes to electricity. That's the procedure, and that's the process which actually goes. You put in voltage to the primary coil, it's the change creates a magnetic field. The magnetic field induces it to the secondary coil, and yes, we have our output, which is the electricity. So electricity changes to magnetic field. The magnetic field then changes back to electricity. This is how transformer actually works, and this is how the transfer of energy in transformer actually. Now again, just as I said, how transformer actually steps up the voltage. This is another great question which is asked by a lot of people, a lot of electronic enthusiasts, and I'm here to answer it for you guys. Now, how does a transformer actually step up the voltage? Now, in case of you need a higher voltage, you have a small voltage and you want the voltage to increase, you can use a transformer in this case. Now, a primary coil has low turns and the secondary coil must have the higher turns. Yeah, if you want a step up, or you want to build a step up transformer, or you want to get a step of voltage, the primary coil turns are actually low and secondary turns are actually high. Now, for instance, let's say the primary coil have 100 turns and the secondary coil actually have 1000 turns. You're going to be having 10 times the voltage which you add on the primary coil. Like if the primary coil is actually winded 100 times around the iron core and the secondary coil is actually winded 1000 times, you're going to have 10 times voltage, and that is how the increase and the step up actually works. The primary coil is going to be lower than the secondary coil. The secondary coil must have high turns than the primary coil. In other words, more turns at the secondary increase the voltage. More turns, more voltage. More turns, higher voltage. Now also, you're going to be wondering, another question which I also need to answer is, I've actually answered how a transformer actually steps up a voltage. Now I'm here to answer how a transformer actually steps down a voltage. Now, this is also a great question which I've been asked by a lot of electronic enthusiasts, and they're yet to know. I'm here to answer that. Now, primarily for a step-down transformer, if you have a higher voltage and you want to reduce it to a low voltage, you need a step-down transformer. Now, in this case, a step-down transformer actually has high primary turns and low secondary turns. Now, the primary turns are actually more than the secondary turns. That is how a step-down transformer is actually built. Now, let me say a primary coil actually have 1000 turns and the secondary coil actually have 100 turns. That means that the voltage will be reduced. The voltage will be stepped down 10 times on the voltage which you actually input on the primary coil. So this is basically how it works. The secondary turns will be reduced and the primary coil will be increased. When as you increase the primary coil and you decrease the secondary coil, the voltage goes down. As you increase the secondary coil and reduce the primary coil, the voltage goes up. As you can see, these are actually used in phone chargers and stuff like that. That is why phone chargers are able to reduce 230 volt or 220 volt, as from my country Nigeria, to 5 volt, which are actually used to charge our mobile phones, such as also other utilities that are needed to step down 220 volts to 5 volts. For the step down procedures I should explain, these procedures are used in power transformers. This actually steps down over 1000 volts to 230 volts, which is supplied to our homes. Now, just as I said earlier in this video, where can transformer actually found? Like if you're asking where do we actually find transformers, you can find transformers in a lot of gadgets. You can find transformers in laptop chargers, phone chargers, and also you can find transformer in the lighter video which I actually talked about. Yeah, I made a video about opening a lighter, electric lighter, or how it works. Here I found a transformer, and that transformer was actually a step-up transformer to step up the low voltage into a high voltage. If you haven't checked that video yet and you want to check it, click right here and you're going to check that video right away. Now we have come to the ending of this video. I hope you really enjoyed, and also you've get the insight on how transformer works, how step-down transformer and step-down transformer actually works, how the magnetic field is actually generated, how it's transferred, and everything you need to know in this video. I hope you really enjoyed. If you like this video and you enjoy what I'm actually doing, do hope to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and go check out my latest videos I actually posted talking about electric lighters. I opened up the lighter and actually explored in the lighter. It's really a great video. Go check it out right here, and support me on Patreon. You can join for free, and also that will be in the link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.